What's going on, internet? Welcome back to some Nerd Alert here. And oh my goodness, I have so many introductions today. I'm Brandon. We've got Jimmy. We've got James. And we've got the ever elusive Chase. We wrangled him on camera. Here he is. All the nerds are here. We are locked and loaded and ready to go. And guys, I have to tell you something. This weekend, I started rewatching the Conjuring franchise, and I think that I have ruined it for myself.
Real quick,
he was bitching about this the other day.
I get confused with this one and the other one. Which one is The Conjuring?
The Conjuring is the Warrens. Are you talking about Yolan? Do you get confused between The Conjuring?
Patrick Wilson is in another series.
So anything with Patrick Wilson confuses you?
Well, because he's in two horror series, and I'm like, which one is The Conjuring versus?
I was gonna say, like, do you remember in The Conjuring where he sends all those missiles at the A-Team? That's the A-Team movie. Anyways, no, The Conjuring.
I loved it when he wore that Batman costume.
Who? I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. From
the lady,
Conjuring, his wife,
Vera Farmiga.
Yes. So,
okay,
that's where the two of them play the Warrens, and the problem is that in the years since, I've watched a lot of things, documentaries, listened to podcasts on the Warrens being mostly full of shit. And there's just times I'm watching it now, and I'm just like, this guy, like, also the biggest compliment Ed Warren has ever received is having Patrick Wilson play him. Like, you just have this handsome man playing the most awful looking New Englander man I've ever seen in my life. But like, there are times when I'm like, it was the first movie when they go and investigate the house and they prove that it's not haunted. And he's like, yeah, most of the time they're not even haunted. And I'm like, this fucking guy rolled into every house and was like, oh yeah, you got ghosts up here. Yeah, just give me some money and we'll clear them out for you. Like, it's just hilarious to me. So I did have to like pause the first movie and retell my brain that like these are actual characters because they can't possibly be based on real human beings at this point in time.
So what about this is bothering you? That it's
because I'm watching it and I'm just watching them take it all seriously. Like, oh yeah, they're mocking God right now. Yeah. And I just picture him being like, oh yeah, you gotta pay us more to do that. They're mocking God in the house. You just gotta charge you a couple more dollars for that. Like, because they were awful con people. But I do have to say,
what was their going rate?
What
was their going rate for ghost removal?
I mean, enough to be who they were. That's pretty crazy. Like, I mean, they had a ton.
It was adjustable.
It was I mean, I'm sure they charged more depending on how the house looked. Like,
do you think
these people got money?
Do you think they went to the homeowner and like, look, you got at least 2 ghosts, so we'll give you 2 for 1?
Yeah, listen, I was up there and I heard like 6 ghosts talking, and you got, oh man, I'm just gonna need more money from you guys. Like that's what I hear. But I will tell you, rewatching that franchise, I haven't watched it in a long time, and those are really good horror movies.
Yeah.
I've just finished the second. I think the third is the one I've rewatched the least. But that first one.
A lot of people hate the third one. I really liked it.
You saw the newest one. Is that one good?
Yeah. I like it better than the third one.
Good ending?
Yeah, I think they're gonna bring it back.
Oh, really?
How much it made.
They're just gonna make the Warrens this superhero ghost fighting couple.
What I like about it as a franchise is it's not just about them. Like, they've had the spin-offs that I found entertaining, and I get the core unit is them trying to find whatever ghosts and haunted objects and whatever. But then they go with, I think, Annabelle, right?
Annabelle and the Nun.
And I like how these they're all like spin-offs of this. So if I don't want to see the Warrens, cool, I can go see some other creepy shit that is in that same universe.
I do enjoy the Annabelle movies. Those are great too.
It reminds me of when I was a kid growing up. There was a series called Friday the 13th. Nothing to do with Jason Voorhees. And it was a group of people.
The TV show.
Yes, that would go out and basically, I don't know exactly what you call that, relic finders, I don't know, whatever. And they would go and investigate these hauntings and such. I have no idea what it was based on. I was a kid. I didn't pay that much attention to it. But the separation of real world and
James, remember that next time he gives you shit for not paying attention to something.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No, it definitely does.
No,
He wasn't paying
no,
attention either, though.
no. That's why the
Double
whole thing
standards
became,
don't count when it
do
comes
as I
to parent
say.
adult.
not as I do.
I got your back, James.
Oh, thank you,
on this
Brandon.
moment, I've got your back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and
internet
when
out
you
there,
have kids,
just an announcement, breaking
you will
news.
not.
Brandon is no longer affiliated with Nerd Alert.
Oh, boo! Boo! We've been doing this for minutes. Boo!
I thought we decided that when he was talking shit about the Broncos.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You are the only person in this group defending the Broncos, so it's fine.
Well,
No,
now
see,
I'm
no.
I'm on Chase's side.
Jimmy's loyal. He's going to defend my team.
Yep.
I'll defend his.
Yep. Exactly.
It's gonna be a rough.
And that's hard to do,
You
man.
want to defend the
a Bronco
Browns?
fan defend the Browns.
Yeah, right. Look what he's doing.
By the way, internet Yankees suck. Okay, go ahead.
Most of the internet will probably agree with you. Anyways, what? Anybody else been doing any spooky stuff? Getting ready for the spooky season here?
I watched, because we've talked about this. I went and legit watched, because one of the times when we talk about it, it's like, I've seen it a million times. I don't need to rewatch it. And then we talk, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. So I went and rewatched the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and actually watched it. Dear God, Franklin never gets less annoying. Never.
Every year.
In fact, I find him more annoying every time I watch it, because like, Jesus, shut up, Franklin.
He's the Dobby of
well,
the
it's like,
Texas Chainsaw franchise.
He's very
You know
much
he's gonna die, so you're just waiting for him to get killed, and then it's like, when is he gonna die? When is he gonna die? When is he gonna die? Why isn't he dead yet?
And ironically, his death is awesome in the way it happens, but also the fact that he dies. And it's just this weird conundrum of poor dudes getting pushed around in like the woods in a wheelchair by his sister, and comes upon Leatherface, and just there's literally nowhere for Franklin to go. So
He's like, well, this is it for me.
Leatherface like, oh, this is the easiest
That's
one I
all,
have to deal with.
You know what? You know they should have done like a backstory where he begged to go on that trip, and they kept being like, "We love you, but it's not practical with the wheelchair, Franklin."
Well, that's kind of what comes up, because when they're in the house, he's like, I didn't really want to come or whatever, and he's like complaining about being there, and it's like, dude, I don't think anybody wanted you there.
They
like,
heavy side in the kitchen was like, didn't we have this conversation like 6 times? Didn't we have this conversation 6 times? I told him we're going to the desert. We're going to the nature. We're not going
nature.
But what I also appreciate is a 1974 movie that incorporated a handy-capable person, and they have like ramps to get him in and out of the van. If they were inclusive, no, blame that. If they were inclusive, he would have lived. All they did was set him up for failure. You know what? That is a good instance of somebody who didn't use drugs or partake in sex dying.
Just because he's annoying doesn't mean he's not a true innocent.
And I would like to say it was the 70s, so we don't know what kind of pain meds he was on.
This is also true.
That is point. Yeah. So that's the creepy horror one I've seen recently. As we're what the other part is that while watching it, because I know we've talked about analyzing the timelines, it's funny to watch. And as far as I remember, I've seen all Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies now, is being like, well, the second one is literally a follow-up to this, but it doesn't really make much sense as far as being a follow-up, in my opinion. The third one is again a follow-up, makes a little more sense. The fourth one is kind of a follow-up, but it's like, dear God, what the hell is this? Then the next 2 are rebooted, and then they try and come back to the original, but skip the middle, and you're like, dear Lord, this is hilarious how this one movie branches off into a whole bunch of different storylines. And there's been some good ones, but they've never really ever come close to being as good as the original.
I think it's my least rewatched like horror franchise, honestly. Like I am excited to watch some of these again so we can discuss them, but I'm thinking about it and it's like I don't know how often I've rewatched Texas Chainsaw 2.
I can say because it's brutal. Like I love Friday the 13th, and I think I can do that because it's goofy and it's fun and it's just really Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all of them. I don't care which one you're watching, they can get brutal.
I like the is it from the second one they did the Breakfast Club poster?
Did they? I don't remember.
I think they did. Hold on.
That's again why I have to rewatch these, because I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen the second one. I'm not a fan, so why do I have to watch it again? Well, reasons like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, it definitely, back on the brutal part, well, Brandon finds the poster. It's, I mean, just the first time Leatherface comes out and he bonks the one girl with the, I think it's like a tenderizer or something, and then he hangs her on the meat hook. It's like they immediately go into just how brutal it is, and they don't.
Dude, the beginning and end of that movie are my favorite things. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean,
well,
and
ironically,
the dude who cuts his hand.
Brandon, you were talking about how Conjuring is based on the Warrens. Texas Chainsaw Massacre propagated itself as based on real events. Not, I guess you could say yes, and it's a huge stretch of the imagination. It's based on a real life person named Ed Gein, who killed 2 women up in, I think it was Minnesota or Wisconsin.
He killed a lot. I mean, well, I think he killed a lot of people, but
credited for 2. But he did a lot of grave digging and a lot of weird shit like that.
He had furniture made out of skin and all that kind of shit.
Infatuation with his mom. That's why it's also Psycho is related to Ed Gein. But that's the tie. So when you're like, oh, it's based on a real life, it's like, really? Really?
Just imagine going to somebody's imagine to go to somebody's house and noticing there's a nipple on their lampshade.
That's
and your grandma's nipple. You're like, oh my god, grandma.
Oh my god.
I have to leave. You gotta flick it.
No.
Hate that. Hate that so much.
You know, they're making a series on Netflix about Ed Gein.
Yes, I did see that in that serial killer series that they've been doing. I don't remember.
I hate that. Listen, that shit is so. I don't like the romanticizing of these people and these characters. Like even like American Horror Story, like actually introduced. Fuck. Why am I forgetting
the LA Strangler one?
Richard Ramirez, like. Introduced him as an ongoing character that continues to appear, and it's like,
was that season 5?
Huh? It was like the camp season, but I think he showed up in like 2 other seasons past that, or at least 1 other season. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I can't disagree with you. I am infatuated with that world, and I'm sad to say that it is a popular thing in the United States and not necessarily in other countries. But I'm sorry, dude. I'm one of those people. It's like, dude, that's fucked up. Kill me more.
Put my father
I'm okay with like watching documentaries on that stuff. I'm into that, but I don't like making them like characters and stuff. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like, especially him. Like that was like what, late 70s, early 80s?
The late 1900s.
I think that's you mean the early 1900s or late 1800s. Jack the Ripper.
So Brandon, if the 1950s is the middle of the century, the 1970s would be the late 1900s.
That's what I said.
You then like switched it to early.
I thought you said something else, and then I thought you were talking about Jack the Ripper. But
what?
Listen,
Jack the Ripper. I'm like, I didn't say anything about Jack.
Apparently, they found out who it was.
That comes up all the time, and it's like, okay, clickbait, cool. It was some rich prince's little kid.
All of the descendants are dead. Who cares?
But I do have more good news about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I hope I sent this to you guys. It looks like A24 is in the running to get the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And although I've enjoyed some of these sequels, I don't feel like probably the best was the one, ironically, that who's the dude that's all about explosions? Did Armageddon? God damn, why can't
Michael Bay?
Yeah, Michael Bay's production company did the 2 reboots, which I thought were pretty good. But I haven't really seen one that really captures the first. Now that A24 is taking over, very interesting.
That would actually be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
they know what they're doing when it comes to horror.
Yeah, Hereditary and Midsommar were just fucked up. So to know that they might be taking over Texas Chainsaw, I have a lot of faith that they're willing to really push the boundaries and just go brutal.
And they're good at the psychological effect, which I think the problem with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's got more into the like torture porn. It's like, that's not really what was so fucking scary about the first one. Yes, obviously, but it's more of this family in Texas, because you don't really know it's a family until they all come together at the end. You just think you're meeting strange randos. Like, God damn it, this is fucked up. And it's the psychology of it to me that always gets me. Yes, obviously being put on a meat hook is horrible. Getting sawed up by a chainsaw is horrible. But the psychology of this family existing in Texas, or could be anywhere, just happens to come upon people, and a lot of people, and go disappearing. It's like, damn. So A24, I'm excited by that news.
I absolutely agree. I think the reason I'm so drawn to the original is, in my opinion, one of the best horror films, because it actually freaks me out. Isn't because it's so violent, it's because it's the lingering psychological devastation of just kids going on a fun vacation and getting wrapped into a terrifying cultish family that's full of cannibals. And it's just, they don't focus on the torturing aspect, and they really, like the scene where it's the room full of bones and carcasses, they just take the time to really show you how psychologically fucked everything is. And I feel like over time, a lot of franchises where they had that really good psychological base, they kind of let it slip to more focus on the violence. Or in the case of Friday the 13th, they just lost the plot altogether.
Goofy.
I think most lose the plot though. Like, I honestly,
He's in space now.
Texas Chainsaw and Halloween, I think, stay the most consistent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm often asked, what do you think is the best decade of horror? And I say the 80s. And they say, what's the worst decade of horror? I said the 80s. Because there were so many great horror films that came out, but then they made so many damn sequels to said awesomeness that it just became such a joke. And it was like, you took something great, meaning just the horror genre in total, and you killed it. Now, granted, I love slashers, and that was really the rise of the slasher films, but they really did too much, like too many sequels.
They were
too
so
much
cheap. They were
money
so
grabs.
cheap to make.
Yeah,
Man.
exactly.
That's why they made them.
Agreed.
Do you see what Blumhouse is doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Oh,
They're, I think they're bringing Michael Myers back again.
I did hear that they were up bidding for the rights. I don't know.
They can't
We
leave
all saw
that character
put that
alone.
crash factor thing, so I don't know where he's going. Is it a total reboot?
I mean, I would assume it's a
I
new
think
one,
so.
right?
Zombie Michael.
I don't think it has anything to do with.
Oh, wait. Is it Season of the Witch 2?
Hopefully. About time we got a good sequel to that gem of a horror movie.
I'd love it if they made a show that was structured like the true crime shows about like actual serial killers, but it was about Michael. So
That'd be fun.
it's almost like a satirical take on those kinds of shows. But that's,
Well, again,
I don't know if
I appreciate that because it's in good hands. Blumhouse obviously has a great track record, and I trust what they're doing. And I think this kind of goes along with something I said a while back when we were talking about Ready Player One, is you can't have the dude, Steven Spielberg, who created a lot of these things, taking over something which is like an ode to fandom. So
yeah.
having Blumhouse take over, we've seen Jason Blum loves horror films, and he has an appreciation for them, so he knows how to handle them. And now we've seen this resurgence of great horror films from them in A24 because they really know what to put out there, what to get you at, what to entertain you with.
Don't you think they should kind of let his character, I don't know, rest for a little while though? It's feeling.
Yeah, but that's the problem with everything we're doing now is all these IPs have to be reused. And
do you like that they revisit old school, or do you want new ideas? Like
I don't
new
disagree with
characters
you.
and everything.
I don't disagree with you
Both.
that they should make more time or take more time in between some of these, but I don't mind you doing. I mean, everything's going to get made forever at this point. We're going to get new, every franchise you can think of is going to get a sequel to a sequel to a sequel to a sequel for the rest of our lives. So you just have to know that another one's coming at some point. But I think with James, I agree with James, both. I want to see new stuff, and if you can do something cool with old stuff, I'm here for it.
And that's just it. It could be hit or miss. Like there are some, I don't know why maybe because I'm laying around doing nothing right now, but I was thinking about, this isn't the first time in history where this idea of let's revisit old things and redo them has come up. There was a slew of sequels which just absolutely suck. And I'm not talking like the horror films that got to the 10th one and you're like, please just end it. I'm talking about
He goes to space.
that were good, and then let's make a
Yeah.
sequel. But then there's other ones where they waited long, like Top Gun. I will talk forever about how good Maverick is. And the fact that they waited that long to make a sequel, and before it got out, people were like, is it really necessary? Do we need it? And I will argue, yeah, that sequel is probably one of the best sequels I've ever seen. So being that it's hit or miss, it's like, all right, well, if the new Michael Myers sucks, well, okay, I'm out. I just won't pay attention. If it's awesome sauce, cool. We got something new to watch.
I was gonna say it's a dangerous line to walk with sequels, obviously, because if you have a movie that ended pretty succinctly and then you make a sequel, it's a dangerous game to play. But at the same time, it's like if the sequel's incredible, who cares? We got a great continuation. If the sequel's bad, it's like you don't really have to recognize its existence beyond the fact that it's there, and you can still hold on to the original without losing what made it special. So it's like, I'm not saying don't acknowledge sequels, but if it's a bad sequel, you don't have to act like it ruined everything. You can just be like, cool, it's not great, we still have the original.
And it gives us something to talk about. Remember when Halloween 2018 came out and I was the one that hated it and you two loved it, and it was like, what is wrong with you? And then the next one came out and I loved it, and you guys were kind of lukewarm because you liked it. Exactly.
Didn't you and Kelly go see that press screening instead of Chase and I?
No, it wasn't a press screening. We went opening night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, why would they say these things? I don't understand.
We went opening night at Town Square, and I have no idea why they did this for Halloween, but it was on their IMAX, whatever their special screen. I was like, okay, cool. Hated it.
So we watched one timeline last year, and I'm going to try to go through our videos and see which one it did, because I want to see which timeline we watched this year to discuss.
I think it might have been because it's the one, if I'm understanding what we're talking about, James has only seen the full timeline, and that's why I'm thinking this, of the 1978, 2018, and the sequels. So he's only seen...
And I've seen two.
No. Full timeline. Dude, it would be so awesome if my son could actually listen to the words coming out of my mouth. The full
You were just saying that you didn't listen at his age?
Hey, yeah, see, remember, you were just talking about not listening.
What?
You encouraged this behavior.
Yeah, you encouraged this.
Not as I do. I learned by watching you.
Yeah. I learned it from you.
Exactly.
I learned it from you, Dad.
That's the only reason why I'm throwing that one out there is because that's the one that I was experimenting with James. Yes, experimenting on my son to see what his opinions were on that timeline, because obviously the rest of us are more familiar growing up with the singular timeline pre Rob Zombie.
Well, now I got to ask, what timeline are you having Madison watch?
She has seen the first part of the second, and as you know, your sister hates awesomeness. As she ripped my heart out with Friday the 13th, and we had to stop, I think, at 3 because she hated it so much. So I don't think there is a Halloween timeline in her future. I think she's done. Yeah.
Did she like Alien?
She did. She liked Alien.
Okay.
But she likes more of the newer stuff. She loves Scream. She loves It. I'm trying to think of other ones she's watched that she loves. So yeah, she's more of a new age horror chick.
We should sit her down and try and get her to watch Psycho. She'd hate us.
Well, she was so, but James, you were there. She was so angry at us when we watched Friday the 13th, and we did not say at all who the killer was. So she's treating it almost like Scream, and that, well, it's it's Jason, but which one of these characters is Jason? So then when it comes out as Pamela, she's like, what the shit? Like, where's the dude in the mask? We're like, he's not in this movie. She was so mad at us.
Does she get
Yeah,
scared?
then we get to the second
at all?
Huh?
She what?
Does she get scared real easy at all?
No, she loves horror films. She doesn't get scared.
Well,
I was gonna say we were.
That's on her, because if she loves Scream, in the very first Scream movie, they say that it's Jason's mom in the first one. So she had the spoiler right there in front of her.
I know.
Does everyone have a favorite horror movie?
You're asking a Davis Palmquist child to pay attention, Brandon. I think you know that's not going to work.
What'd you say, Chase?
Does everyone have a personal favorite, like horror movie?
Slasher? Or
no, just horror in general. Like, what's your all-time favorite?
The Shining.
The Shining. That's good.
My buddy brought that over to my house when we were in 3rd grade, and it mortified me. And there was something about how terrifying that was as a child that when I watch it today, I still get super uncomfortable. Like,
Jimmy
that
looks
your
like
first
someone
horror
shitting his cereal.
what?
Was that your first horror film?
I mean, first horror film I watched earlier than I should have. Like, I'm sure I watched like spooky stuff and all that, but like that was the first one that it was like, this is a R-rated, terrifying movie. We should watch this.
Well, that's a good question. Like, what was your first? So, Chase, what was your first horror film? That you remember?
I wanna say it was Halloween. That was the first one that ever gave me nightmares. Was Halloween.
See, I do think that's important when you watch it and how that affects you the rest of your life.
Well, I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, but
I
my
understand.
best friend and their parents and his parents didn't know that.
I think that's pretty much how every child watches their first horror
So
film.
I like to say that's where I got my
Not me.
education for horror movies is over there. I watched everything you can imagine.
I was like, James got a little lucky and unlucky in that I love horror films and I wanted to subject him early on. Unfortunately, his mom, my wife, Allison, hates horror films and did not want to subject him. So, James, what do you think was your
Except
first
for
horror film?
zombie movies. She loves zombie movies. Anyways,
What do you think is your first horror film? Because I'll correct you here in a second.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I
Okay.
remember correctly, I thought it was the first Friday the 13th.
Okay, it could be from what you think, yeah.
Because I don't clearly remember what it was.
So Jimmy, aka first time dad, probably about I think it was 26.
Oh dear.
I don't know if you guys know this. Children, babies wake up at all times of the night wanting food, change their diapers, whatever. And I was a good father, in my opinion, in that I would wake up and James was breastfed, so Allison had to do a lot of the work, but I would do up what I can. I would often wake up in the weird hours and sit there with him and feed him, change him, whatever, and watch horror movies. I watched Devil's Rejects with him, and Allison got so angry. I'm like, he's like a month old. What the hell? She's like, I cannot believe you're watching this with him. I'm like, he can't recognize anything. What are you talking? Yeah. So your first movie was Devil Rejects, first horror film.
Wow. I'm sorry. You have consistently made it a thing of fumbling something with a horror film. One of your first dates with my mom, your wife.
They're all like well-planned actions that
yeah, because you took her to like one of the new Texas Chainsaw films and she was in tears and you were like, oh, oops.
Isn't it a funny story to tell?
See? It is a funny story, but it's still like, it's a miracle. It's a miracle you got another date after that.
Yeah, I agree. Chase often reminds me, is like, why did Allison fall for you? I'm like, I don't know. She did. Now she signed a contract 22 years later. She's stuck with me.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I tell my wife all the time, like, I'm a financial decision now.
Exactly. So similarly to you guys, except for James, because he was subjected by his father, my first horror film was Night of the Living Dead, which I watch that now and I appreciate what it is. I get it. I watched it when I was 9. Scared the living shit out of me. Watching that movie now, I still have little like, oh my God, that's so scary, even though I know it's not. Namely, where they're in the basement with the daughter who's got the little gardening hoe or whatever it is, taking out her parents. And I really do believe that depending on when you watch these horror films, like The Shining, that imagery as a child, I can't.
Oh, it stays with you.
Like that. Yeah. If you know the number of memes that come across with those twins, that would send me right back PTSD every time I saw it. If I saw that at your age, at that age, that's fucking creepy as shit.
Really quickly, I hate to jump in here. I gotta hop off. Bye, everybody.